Hey everyone, it's Lucy here, and today I'm sharing a fun way to use PET, washi tapes and pattern paper for paper piecing clothing items with dies from Life's Craft Art. And if you love adding extra detail and pattern to your die cuts, this is such a great technique to try. These are so cute. I'm just going to jump straight in as usual, and I'll start with this gorgeous dress. And first I'll roughly trace around the die so I know where to add the tape. And then I'm going to start with this really pretty tape. You may have dies and items in your stash that you can use already, or I'll have all the products I'm creating with today down in the description box, plus discount codes, and I'll have more about that later. In this video, I'm going to show you how to layer different tapes, create custom outfits, and bring your die cut pieces to life with so many unique textures and designs. I love how all of these turn out on cards, and I think you might as well. So what is paper piecing? Paper piecing is a technique where you cut out different sections of a die cut design from various pattern papers, or in this case, tapes as well, and you piece them together. It's a fantastic way to add colour and dimension and variety to your projects without needing extra colouring or painting. I'm using a little washi tape to keep the dies in place, as it's important they don't shift while cutting. And since the pencil marks are outside the die, I don't need to erase them. I'll run the dies through my machine twice to make sure they cut all the way through, especially since I'm using 300 GSM white card, which is quite thick, plus it also has the PET tape on top. I've also die cut the little bow and dress hanger from gold card. How sweet is that hanger? I couldn't stop making these dresses, and I still want to try out more tapes with them. And to add some extra dimension, I'll bend both parts of the dress around something tubular, then attach the top layer with foam strips for a bit of lift. I'm also going to be announcing the 3 winners of the $30 vouchers to Life's Craft Art somewhere in this video, so stay tuned, it could be your name called out. For the top layer of the dress, I initially bent some parts forward and some back, but I realised that that wasn't really necessary. Instead, just bending every second piece forward creates a lovely sense of movement in the dress, and that's all that you need. As I just mentioned before, I've just added some thin foam strips to parts of the dress, and I'll add a little glue also to make sure that it sticks permanently, and then I can pop it on top of the other part of the dress. And this gives so much dimension. And then finally, I'll bend the tiny bow and add it to the dress, and just look how adorable this is. Do you love it as much as I do? I'll be turning all these pieces into cards later, but first let's create some more paper pieced outfits. As soon as I saw this apron die, I just had to have it. It's perfect for anyone who loves cooking, especially mums who enjoy spending time in the kitchen. And with Mother's Day coming up for most of us, it's a perfect time to create a couple of mum-themed cards, I think. Not that either of my mums or mother-in-laws enjoy cooking, so these won't be going to them. But just like before, I've traced around the die, and this really helps with placing stickers and tapes exactly where they need to go. For this apron, I'm using these gorgeous floral stickers to give it a soft feminine touch. I even have a half sticker here that's just perfect for the top part of the apron. I'll pop it back through my die cutting machine again a couple of times through, and then we can put this one together. The apron die set also comes with an oven mitt and spatula. Isn't this oven mitt the cutest? I'll die cut the spatula from silver card later to give it that metallic look. And I want the apron's pocket to stand out above the apron, so I'll add some scrap white card to it. And at first I decided to ink around the edges for a bit of dimension, but honestly it wasn't really necessary. I like keeping these little experiments in rather than redoing everything to make it seem like I'm a perfect crafter, because I'm not. I love trying things out, even if they don't quite work, and hopefully you can learn from my trial and error too. And I ended up keeping the inked version, but it would look just as nice without. Or if maybe you're better at inking than me, and if so, go for it. I think it would look lovely. I'll pop the oven mitt in the pocket, and I'll layer up the spatula 3 times. And then I need to cut off the bottom of the spatula to be able to fit it in the apron pocket. And after I show how I create an example from each die set, I'll be making 13 cards to give you some fun new card design ideas. And now on to these unique handbags. I absolutely love how they turned out. I ran out of time to create a card with them, so maybe that's an idea for another video. I did use them alongside one of the dress themed cards, but I also thought about placing them on a timber shelf. What do you think? Would you like to see a couple of ideas using these? I had so much fun experimenting with bright colours and I tested out 4 different tapes, but you could definitely use pattern paper too and muted colours as well. And to tie everything together, I'm giving them all matching gold handles for a cohesive look. I also tried adding a little pencil shading for definition, but honestly, it's not really necessary. I found that just bending the paper adds plenty of dimension and interest, but that's just my thoughts on that. Next up are these gorgeous little baby girl dresses, and I'll be creating 2 cards with them, one using these pattern paper dresses and the other featuring washi tape, and I wonder if you'll have a favourite. And since this is my first time using these dies, I had fun experimenting with different techniques, and I tried using a pencil to highlight the dress creases, but I didn't love how it looked, so I lightly erased it, just enough that it's still there but not obvious as a grey lead marker. And for the best movement in these dresses, I found that bending the outsides over and the centre inwards gives the nicest effect. I'll also add some white Nouveau drops to the lilac dress, and this one will be going on a card later. And I have an even cuter idea for embellishing these dresses on another card, so stay tuned for that. Next up is this adorable little girl with an umbrella die set, and this was actually the die that convinced me to order all the others. I just knew it would be perfect for paper piecing. And to make things easier, I'm tracing around the umbrella so I can cut around it before die cutting. And this way I can cut multiple pieces at once instead of disassembling all the tiny bits of the die. And for this version, I'm using Uniquely Creative's February kit, Serenity, but funny enough, I completely forgot I had already made this design, and I also created 2 other versions using PET tape. That's what happens when I get carried away crafting too fast, I guess. Maybe I'll have to create this little girl on another card. I would love to use some mountainous landscape tapes behind her. I think that would look really sweet. And this die is such a fun one to work with, and I love how sweet and simple these cards turn out. They're perfect for little girls' birthday cards. I feel like the umbrella is a little too mature for a little girl, so I'll turn it over, and the green check pattern is perfect. I'll just bend it the other way, and that was so easy to change over. And now on to creating the 13 cards. I'm so excited to share these with you. For this first card, I've die cut 2 rectangles to fit my card front, and I'll be trimming down the white card, making sure to cut all sides evenly since it has a stitched edge. Otherwise, you'd only need to trim 2 sides. And this will leave me with a lovely gold border. I feel like the white rectangle needs a little extra definition, so I'll use a 0.3 black marker to draw a simple border around it. I'm making it crooked on purpose and just doing 2 lines on each side. And for the party sentiment, I originally laid it in black and white, but I think the white layer needs to be gold, so I'll switch that up, and you will see the final version in the picture I'll share on Instagram and Pinterest. And speaking of which, did you know I have Instagram and Pinterest? I've linked them towards the bottom of this video's description and on all the bottom of my videos. I have nearly 2,500 card ideas on there. Plus on Pinterest, I have a board with all the products that I love, including the tapes that I'm using today. And Pinterest makes it easy to browse, as you can just click on the picture to shop the items. And here's the finished card. I've also added some black Nouveau drops to it. I'll have all the dies and tapes linked in the description if you'd like to check them out too. And if you shop through my links, I'll receive a small commission, so thank you so much if you do use them. And a quick heads up, Life's Craft Art generously gives my viewers 25% off, and it's automatically applied when you use my link. You'll see a pop-up on their website asking if you'd like to use the discount, so no need to remember any codes at checkout. And Journal Say also offers 8% off for my viewers on their washi and PET tapes, including the ones I'm using today. And both companies provide free international shipping on orders over $29. And now for some exciting news, if you entered the giveaway to win one of 3 $30 vouchers for Life's Craft Art's new app, here are the winners chosen at random: Kathy Thompson, Jenny Little, and Jackie Hay. Congratulations. Please email me at lovebypaper@gmail.com and I'll send you $30 codes each. I'll have my email down in the description box as well, so you don't need to remember it. But please get in contact with me within a week so that I don't need to draw new winners. And a huge thank you to Life's Craft Art for sponsoring this giveaway. I also have more giveaways coming up soon, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss when they come up. For this next card, I'm using a background die and doing some paper piecing on the background as well this time. I found the best way to adhere these types of backgrounds is by using wide double-sided tape. I'm using a 10 centimeter or a 4-inch roll, which makes everything so much easier. And I'll also have a link to it down below in case you're interested. A roll lasts forever. And if you're unsure how to find all this information, please watch to the end of the video where I'll show how to open the description box, which has all the details you need, including all the discount codes. And I've die cut the frame twice, once with the washi tape layer and once out of white card. I could have just used a single die cut piece, but I didn't apply washi tape to a full piece and I didn't want one of the centerpieces to have only half covered tape. I'm using the pink glitter frame, but the white would look nice too, so I'm just showing that quickly here. Now I'll finish it off by adding a sentiment and the dress embellishment. Do you have a favourite of the dresses and cards so far? I ordered 3 black PET tape rolls, and while I'm not using all of them today, I wanted to quickly show you how amazing they are. This fireworks design will be perfect for celebration cards, and I also picked up this beautiful blue and green one too. But the one I am using today is this white and pink star design, and it's absolutely perfect for a party dress. And to complement it, I'm using another background die. This time a star themed one, which pairs beautifully with the starry dress. And all the background dies I'm using in this video are also from Life's Craft Art. And if you've watched my other videos, you might recognize them. I do love reusing my dies in different ways. And if you haven't seen those videos, I'll pop one up at the end of this video for you to click on if you want more ideas. I hope you've enjoyed watching all the dress and apron cards come together so far. I originally planned to use this apron die cut with these papers, but I felt it didn't quite work, so I switched to this beige check print apron and it looks so much better. So for the background, I've double layered the smallest rectangle. I used slightly rounded rectangle dies with wonky stitching for the top and gold glitter layers. And this card is very simple, like most of the ones I'm creating today, but as we know in card making, sometimes less is more. And another thing I love about this apron die is how easy it is to trim off the frilly edges, making it perfect for masculine versions. I can just imagine with barbecues and things like that on cards. As the frills are only attached near the apron strings, they're really easy to trim off. Instead of bending this apron, I've added 3 or 4 layers of white card scraps underneath it instead, and this gives it height but suits this style of clean card better. And for the sentiment, I used a beautiful Mother's Day sentiment die from Scrap Diva Designs, and you'll be seeing me use this a lot, along with its coordinating shadow layer too. I'll be using a few more of their sentiment dies for the rest of these cards, and you'll find them linked in the description along with a 10% discount code too. And to finish this off, I'm adding these metal cutlery embellishments from my stash. I've had them for ages and I'm so happy to finally put them to good use. And unfortunately I don't have links as I've had them for probably over 10 years. Now on to the 2 little girl cards, and I think they turned out so sweet and happy, plus they were super quick to make. I started by adding some PET tapes to the bottom of the card, and first I roughly cut around the grass so I didn't have a straight border. PET is like butter to cut, it's so easy and it's very forgiving. If you cut through them by accident, you can just line the piece up and you can't tell. I'm going to add another piece of landscape tape at the bottom so it looks like she's walking on the ground. And to get the placement just right, I'll position the girl pieces on the card first, helping me see exactly where the ground should go. And then next I'll pop on a watercolour PET sticker for the cloud before die cutting everything with a stitched rectangle die. Her clothing is also from the watercolour sticker pack, which has beautiful purples and pinks. For the sentiment, I die cut it from pink and white glitter paper using one of each colour on this card and saving the alternative sentiment for the next card. I created raindrops by adding a drop of liquid pearls and using a pointy tool to drag the liquid into a drop shape. And then on to the next card, and I am in love with these PET backgrounds. They're made from thin plastic and they have a matte finish, which gives them such a unique look. I really wish I'd ordered all 6 of the different packs. They're super easy to use as well. You just peel and stick. And for this card, I added one to a piece of white card and then cut around it and then attached it to the card front. But of course, you could skip the extra layer and just stick it directly onto the card base if you prefer. And then to finish off this quick but cute card, I simply added the sentiments and the little girl die cut. So simple yet so sweet. What do you think of these 2? If you're enjoying the video so far, please give it a thumbs up. And now let's move on to the baby cards, and I just love these too. For the first card, I'm using a square background die, but I only want 4 large squares in the frame. So I'll trim off the extras with a craft knife, and scissors work too. Just be sure to cut close to the frame using the flat blade side. And I love how we're able to change up this background die by creating just 4 squares from it. And to create a sturdy border, I've layered up 2 white frames and a gold glitter frame on the top, and this gives it a nice thickness. And the dresses are made with landscape washi tape, and I'm adding a thin ribbon belt by doubling over the ribbon and securing it with skinny double-sided tape. A bit of thicker double-sided tape on the back of each dress helps attach the ribbon securely. And then next I'll layer the frame over some subtle background paper. I'll trim around it and adhere it to the card. I've put some subtle patterned paper on the actual card front as well. And then I'll add all 4 dresses into the squares, finishing them off with a tiny love heart on each little belt. And the sentiment dies welcome and grandchild complete this sweet design. But you can add any sentiment you like, of course. For the next card, I'm keeping it super simple. I've die cut 2 rectangles to layer as the background. Then I'll choose 3 little dresses to place in the center using foam hexagons. And the new arrival sentiment with its shadow adds the perfect finishing touch, I think. And just like that, the card is finished. That almost brings us to the end of today's video, and here's a look at my craft desk with all the dies I used and of course all the finished cards. Let me know in the comments if you have a favourite. A big congratulations again to the 3 giveaway winners, Kathy Thompson, Jenny Little and Jackie Hay. Don't forget to email me at lovebypaper@gmail.com so I can send you your $30 codes for Life's Craft Art's new app. I also want to say a huge thank you to Mary Alice for supporting my channel this week. It truly means so much to me. And if you'd like to check out any of the products I used today, you'll find all the links in the description box below. I'll show on screen how to open the description box in a moment in case you're unsure. My Pinterest and Instagram links are also in there. I do earn a small commission if you shop through my links, so a big thank you if you choose to use them. And don't forget, I have 25% off at Life's Craft Art for you, which is applied automatically when you use my link. And you can get 8% off at Journal Say and 10% off at Scrap Diva Designs, where I got those beautiful sentiment dies as well. And all of this is in the description box. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss my upcoming tutorials and giveaways. And thanks so much for watching. And if you need more inspiration and ideas, click on this video that's on screen now. Happy crafting and bye for now.